Dallas on air. 17 years of real talk, real stories, and real Dallas. From the heart of Texas to the ears of the world. This is Dallas on air.
The Groove, a podcast that's a transformational show about dance and the people's journey to success. That's just a vibe. Welcome to the couch.
The Groove, sponsored by the flyest station in the nation, flyradio.com, your station for music lovers. Listen live 24 hours on flyradio.com. Download our app from the Google Play Store for talent or advertising opportunities. Please call 773-FLY-DIVA, otherwise known as 773-359-3482. Welcome to The Groove. I am super excited that a good friend that I haven't seen in a while, David Herrera, is with us.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I'm just here in Austin right now. I'm getting ready for the salsa night that I have every Wednesday later tonight.
So tell me about this, where you are tonight. I really appreciate you jumping on knowing you had to travel. So you're in Austin, and is this weekly what you do?
Yeah, so it's a salsa night that I do in downtown, and it's a historic area. It's called Rainy Street, and the venue is called Crazy Conchas. So Crazy Concha is like a Mexican type of bread, like a dessert bread. It's a cool venue. It's a two-level venue, kind of like Miami style. We do classes. I have guest teachers, guest DJs, dance shows, dance contests. I get a good crowd. We do it on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
So how long does this last on Wednesdays?
So it's about 4 or 5 hours. You know, it's built for the dance community, and then we get a lot of tourists that stop by. So it's usually, we get started around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then we go to like around about 1 o'clock.
Oh, so you like partying like it's a weekend night.
Yes, sir. We dancing, bro. You know how we do.
All
Dance every day.
night long. Good.
Every day.
Man, I really appreciate it. Just so you all get some context of David and our relationship. I met David probably maybe about 15, 16 years ago.
Oh, yeah,
And
it's been a long
David
time.
was one of the instructors that I sought out to brush up on my salsa. It was a little dusty. And so I heard he was the best. And it just so happens that he was at the studio that I would eventually end up at.
Right.
And so he had almost every night where he was teaching salsa or bachata or something like that. So David and I go back a while. So I'm super excited that you were able to join. I'm super excited that you were part of my dance journey and still part of my dance
Appreciate you,
journey.
bro.
So like I share with you off screen, I'm going to come and find you so we can tighten up on my skill set because it's probably a little sloppy. And I know how you are. You're a technician.
Yes, sir. But you're natural, bro. You got the natural flows.
Yeah. So how old were you when you started dancing, David?
I was a little kid in LA. I grew up in LA, dancing on the street corners, break dancing when I was like 5.
So we were all in the pop locking and all that other kind of stuff back then, getting it in on the corner.
Yeah.
So you were just drawn to dance. Was there anyone in your family that kind of led it, or you just?
My mom, she was a social dancer. She used to compete in LA in all the salsa contests. And when I was a little kid, we would go pick her up. I'm 5, 6 years old. She was a regular, so they would let me into the club, sit down. I grew up kind of fast.
You know what?
Yeah.
That's cool. My mother was the shepherd of my dancing as well. I didn't get, my mom was the one winning dance contests. It really wasn't any formal dancing that she was doing. She was just winning dance contests, and so I think it just kind of naturally transitioned to me. But the only time I was in a club was when I was dancing. It
Only we
was
get along.
it wasn't going to pick up moms because mom was at the house cooking dinner. Dad wasn't having it anymore. He got the prize. So you said your mom was a dancer and she was competitive. When do you first recall starting to learn or understand salsa? Was that the first dance she taught you? Because you're a
Well,
natural. I mean, you can look at it and we're going to get into that, but you're a natural. So what did she show you first, or did you just pick it up? And
well,
how did that come out?
yeah. I mean, we grew up listening to radio, and my mom dancing in the morning, going to school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we had family parties, and they throw us out there to dance with them. Just watching my mom. But obviously, some of the stuff came natural. They showed us some stuff, but it wasn't until years later that I really learned the right, obviously the right way. But yeah, like the family parties, we were the ones that would always perform and show out for everybody.
I thought I was the only one. Get out there, and then after I got out there and got it all in, I had to go to bed.
Yeah. But we grew up fast. We grew up around a lot of music.
Yeah,
Going to church, all that.
yeah,
So a lot of life, a lot of energy in the house, and like every day, music.
yeah.
And I would always listen to the lyrics, no matter what was being played. I listened to the lyrics. So I would like sing the songs, and my mom was like, "What are you doing? Like you're too small. Like how do you understand all this stuff?" So I already had the gift when I was a little kid.
Uh,
I didn't even know.
yeah, I look at the songs as an adult that we were singing, and I really didn't correlate the words
Right.
or how erotic they were, like when Prince was
I
singing. And I was like,
know.
how did my parents let me sing that? But I guess my naivety, it really didn't matter because all we were doing was wanting to dance.
Yeah, that's true.
So, did you play any sports
Oh yeah,
growing
my
up?
goal was to be a professional football, track star. My brothers, that's what they did. So I did do good. I went to college. I did that stuff. I just got hurt, and I just didn't want to do it no more because it was like you're always getting hurt. But I was good at. I ran track. I was a sprinter. Ran football. Played in college 1 year. Uh, Dabbled in basketball. So we were athletes. My dad was like a professional soccer player.
Okay.
So and I had a grandpa that was one of my grandpas. He was a street performer, circus performer. So he used to
Oh,
walk across buildings, lay on nails, walk on stilts. He worked with the circus, and that's like 60, 70 years ago in South America.
oh,
And
okay.
then my my grandma was an Argentine tango dancer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
So you just had it in the bloodlines.
it's in there, bro.
It's deep in it because if anyone sees you groove, they know that you are the truth. You're the real deal.
I
So
appreciate.
so what sport were you the best in? Was
I
it
was good
track?
in both, but I think I excelled more in track because we were naturally fast in our family.
Hmm.
Track and field, it's more individual sport, so you get to really work on you know, your training, your sprinting, your technique. I was very technical, always very technical. So, you know, I could have still pursued it, but kind of just grew out of it.
Yeah.
Problem. But I have a goal to do the Masters in a couple years. USA track and field.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's a. Oh yeah, I'm already starting to train little by little.
Oh man, you're gonna have
Yeah,
to let me know when you get closer to that so I can come and support you.
yeah, I'm gonna do the. I'm already like strong. Like I'm training right now. I'm bulking, strong. I'm already doing sprints. I'm already doing stuff. But But yeah, that's a goal. Because I met a guy 20 years ago at a gym, and he looked like he was 40, and the man was like 60 years old, and his shirt said USA Truck and Field, and he was lifting like mad weight with me, like crazy weight. I was like, dude, you're how old? He says, I'm gonna be myself. I said, I'm gonna be like you when I grow up. I mean, I thought he was like 30 some years old. This guy, 60 years old, just cut, jacked, and he did the Masters division for USA Truck and Field.
Oh, okay. Well, we're that age now.
Yeah, we're getting close, right?
Yeah, we're knocking on, we're knocking the door, and some of us are already kicking it in. So,
Right.
it was funny. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, as young as we look, people
Exactly.
assume that we're still in our younger adulthood, and now we're the old guys. Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
man. Been doing this for a while, man.
But we don't look that way, and we don't move that way because our
You look the
energy stays
same.
high.
You look the same.
Yeah, likewise. You do the same. So your mom influenced your dance. What were the dances that your mom did? She did salsa. What else did she do?
Yeah, she did salsa, bachata, cumbia. Later in life, she loved cumbia, merengue. So there was quite a few places in the '80s in LA that were very popular. There's always places.
Hmm.
She would do like the local circuit, and like everybody knew her at the salsa club. We would pick her up. And she was like popular. She was a little white lady, which is not white, but she's look white. So my parents are from Ecuador, South America, so my mom looked like a white lady. She had blonde hair, light skin, hazel eyes.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so
So
those.
when did you leave LA and come to Dallas?
Um, in 3 days before 1999, my
Okay.
best my best friend had left LA, like 3 years before, and he moved after he graduated high school. His family moved here, so he came back and he's like, "Hey, you should come to Dallas." And I started laughing. I was like, "What the heck? I want to go to Dallas for?" You know what I mean? So I'm living in LA. I was playing football. I was doing pretty good. I had living with my mom, working, had a good job, worked at UPS. But then my mom was like, "Hey, I want to move in my boyfriend." And then I'm like, in Latin culture, you just don't do that. It's
Right.
like a big. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna move, mom. I'm gonna grow up. So I came to Texas, and that's where everything really started. I mean, I was dancing, but everything really took off here. Because there's a whole style. It's called LA style. So I'm second generation.
Hmm.
So if you watch a movie like Dance with Me, 1998, Vanessa Williams, Cheyenne, the people in that movie are some of my friends. They're first generation.
Gotcha.
The people in that are dancing in the salsa club. So I'm second generation. So they're the ones that started the whole what we call LA style salsa movement with the whole tango, swing, ballroom, cabaret, flashy show, three-piece suit, fedoras going out, right?
Right.
And that's like 30 years ago, right?
Wow.
Well, I'm the second generation. So I brought that to Texas.
You did bring it to Texas. What made you decide to start teaching? Or were you teaching before you left LA and then started picking that up with Dallas? How did that transition
So,
work?
so I was dancing a little bit, like socially in LA. We would go to raves too, kind of. I did house music. I loved house music.
I remember raves back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. So I used to listen to people like DJ Irene, Richard Humphrey Vision, people like that.
Hmm.
It was really big, and at that time, it still kind of was different now. So then, when I came here, uh, I started going out to the salsa clubs. I'm like, man, I could do this. I could get down. And my mom wanted to take some lessons, so we found this teacher. I'm not gonna say his name. This is like 1999. She came to visit. I brought her to visit, and we found this teacher who would teach the same thing all the time. And then my mom called him out and says, "Man, you teach the same thing all the time." And I'm like, Mom, she's a little diva, right? And she says, why don't you let my son teach? He dances way better than you. So like, I had to find another place, because it was boring.
Right.
And I found another teacher, and you know, everything changed. And then I went back to LA in like 2001, 99 and 2001. And 99, I started seeing like, man, there's a whole style that we have that
Hmm.
these people aren't even doing over here.
Right.
I mean, and that's what motivated me. So I started, learning LA style, watching some videos, whatever. And then when I went back early 2000 to visit my mom, again, I ran into one of my friends, Machito, which he was one of the original dancers. And I was in a dance school. We'd go down to like Baja, Mexico. We would do shows for like the government, the tourists. And that's where everything really started, like around 2003, like hard. 2001, 2001, I was already a solid dancer. I got interviewed in 2001 by the New York Times.
Oh, tell me about that.
So that was like the first big thing. I was dancing at Monica's, which was in Deep Ellum. It was a restaurant that was there for years. That was a spot on Sundays.
Yep.
So I'm doing my thing. Da, da, da. I had this shout out to my old partner Nikki. She's a sister. She got down, boy. We were cooking, right? And then the New York Times came up to me. I said, "What are you guys doing here?" They're like, "Man, we're just doing a story on this place. It's so famous, and all the popular dancers that come, and we seen you, and you're like amazing." I'm like, "All right, cool. Can we interview you?" Like they said it was gonna be out. I don't know, a week later. I don't even remember. And sure enough, I went and got that newspaper. There it was. I was like, "Dang, this ain't no joke. I'm in the New York Times." I mean, that's 24 years ago, bro.
Right.
So that was like the first big thing. I mean, I had won like little local competitions. I had been like a backup dancer for like singer. Like there's this Latin singer. I was a backup dancer for her like a couple of years before. But that was like the first big thing. That was like, wow, like this ain't no joke. Like I could really do this. You know what I mean?
Yep. So when you started teaching, did you just teach salsa, and then if so, what did you start teaching after that? Because you started breaking
Yeah.
it up and blowing up quick.
Yeah. So I started assistant teaching. I would help like Ramiro out. He was here in Dallas. I used to train him. I used to get him in shape because that was one of my jobs as I was a trainer. That was my major in college, kinesiology. So I met Ramiro at the Monica's. He's like, hey, why don't you train me? I'm like, all right. He's like, I'll show you some stuff. All right, cool, whatever. And then I got kind of bored because I was like, man, you're too ballroom. I said, we do LA style. I said, it's cool. I appreciate it. So I would help him in his classes, and I would tell him, hey, bro, you need to get with the program because this is taking over the world. This is LA style. Like, it's global.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, he didn't listen to me at first, but then he did. And, thank God he did because, he uses some of it when he teaches. But I started assistant teaching in 99. For about 2 years, I started assistant teaching. And then in 2002, I mean, not 2000, yeah, 2002, there was a little studio in Dallas that wanted to hire me. They were called Dance Steps. And it was a little studio. I forgot the owner's name. He's like an old school cat, cool guy. But I was like, man, you guys don't got much business. I was like, what I mean? I'm youngster, bro. Like, I wanted flash, I wanted to show. So I taught a little bit, whatever. We do little gigs, whatever. And then I just burned out. I just told him, look, man, this ain't gonna work. This is not for me. Your studio's too kind of. I don't want to tell him, but it was like too boring,
Right.
So then I was still doing my job on the side and just dancing. It wasn't really until like 2005, 2004 that I really went hard, like
Mm-hmm.
hard into the dancing
Yeah.
because I wanted to do it for like as a career. I already had set up my mind.
So you started teaching salsa, and you started teaching multiple levels. You weren't just teaching beginners. You
Right.
had like
Because
a huge
Yeah,
class.
yeah, because 2002 I got exposed to ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
So they introduced the ballroom dances to me. You know, tango, foxtrot waltz,
Right.
cha cha cha, rumba, everything, all the core dances. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And I was just before then I was just a salsa bachata merengue dancer. I was just a Latin dancer. I didn't know nothing about ballroom. So that foundation of ballroom really helped me, understand dancing. And then when I was in college, I had taken music. So I was trying to get a good foundation, in my dancing. And then a couple of years later, I met the Bomardi brothers, which were well-known ballroom people here in town. And
Yep.
then they would bring in a lot of coaches. And then obviously I would travel and train with different coaches or whatnot.
Right. I recall you being on TV.
Oh yeah.
When when did that take place? When did that take place, and where were you at?
Um, Man, there's been a lot of times I've been on TV.
Well, I mean, the first time, David.
The
So
first,
so just for a little perspective,
the first
David
one,
David is
the
world
biggest,
renowned.
yeah. I mean, it's just a blessing, When I
It
was a little
is.
kid, I told my mom I'm gonna be on TV, and she laughed. Hispanic mom. Ah, tú estás loco. Are you crazy? And she seen me on the show. This is like 2006, 2007. It's called Caso Cerrado. It's a famous Latin show. Lady judge Maria Polo. Shout out to Maria Polo. She's still doing her thing. And they film it in Miami. And it's like you go and there's some of the cases are like legit. I guess I don't know, but I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that. But but anyways, so basically, I was booked on that show as me dumping my ex partner, getting a new partner. So they showed real, and this show is all over Latin America, all over the United States. Like it's a global, all over. It's a big show. It's been on TV for many years. So I'm on the show, do the thing, whatever, and then I get back, and everybody's like 2 months later. Everybody's like, "Hey man, I just seen you on everywhere. I'm everywhere. Like I'm in Latin, places or whatever. Hey, I know who you are." And I was like, "Oh dang, this is crazy. This feels weird." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that was the first like real big show I had been on. And it was cool though. I mean, you work hard. I used to go to work. I worked at a TV network, and then I would go teach, right,
Right.
for like 7, 8 hours, and then I would go practice till 4 in the morning. I would sleep 3 hours. My like at the time, my Mamba mentality was like, I'm not leaving till I'm exhausted, right? So I can't move. And I had my dancers. So my dancers, I would force them to stay for like 2, 3 hours. Like say, we gotta learn this routine. I have my team. And I'd be like, dude, we gotta get this, right? And they're like, yeah, we gotta go. I'm like, I had no time limit on the practice. I said, you guys wanna be badass? You guys wanna be on TV? I said, look, I'm blowing up right now, you know what I mean? And
Right.
we went out, if you ask people in Dallas or other cities that we would go to, Austin, whatever, we had an entourage.
What do you mean had?
Well, I mean, I guess,
you're
it's still an
you're in
entourage.
Austin working, bro. You still are the entourage. You still
So
have the
that's what I'm saying.
following.
Oh yeah, what I'm saying though is we had a crew that would walk in the place.
Hmm.
We just did our thing, started dancing. We would have like a circle, right?
Yep.
Like people just watching me and my partner do our thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I mean that was early 2000s in Dallas.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you put in your work, you're gonna reap the rewards of your work, right?
You're
I
right.
mean,
It's funny because as you and I teach adults, that's our mindset. That's our mentality. We have to
yeah,
get it. When I tell people, like you just shared, I may have slept 3 to 4 hours because
hmm
we were just indoctrined in dance and being the best at it and being technicians to be the best at it.
that's right.
And there was no mediocrity that was
hmm
tolerated. You and I are technicians, and
Yeah.
that's what I loved about you coaching hard because you're gonna get it.
Yeah, if you want to compete, you got to do what it takes to compete. If you want to perform, okay, well, there's certain things, if you want to be a social dancer, to me that's cool. I mean, but you gotta have goals. I
Right.
mean, I'm wired for competition. I'm a competitor. I'm a showman
Right.
ever since I was a little kid. So when I get real passive, negative people, like there's more to why they're like that. It's like an emotional, mental thing. They're very insecure. Not only not only do we have to teach dance, but we have to teach people confidence. We have to
Right.
teach them culture. We
Yeah.
have to teach them social skills,
Yeah.
because a lot of these people never had a social life, or they just been single for a while, or they're divorced, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's why God gave us this gift
Right. Bring
to
people together.
dance.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
So do you still compete? Because I know you have dancers all across the country that you still choreograph for that do compete. But do you still compete?
I do more pro-am. Me
Okay.
personally, no, no. Like, because it's for pro-am, it's easier. You can build a student up and make them great,
Right.
and compete with them pro-am circuit. And then as far as me competing, no, because it's hard to find the right partner, because travel, relationships, whether they have a husband, boyfriend, or
Right.
you know just a lot. It's complicated. I mean, it's not easy.
Yeah. So how many people are you choreographing for roundabout now that are still competing?
Right now, I have a good amount of people. I would say about 12 people that are learning
Okay.
choreography.
Yeah.
You know, I have some new dancers here in Austin that I'm training, in Dallas, and then whenever I go to Miami, there's some people I work with sometimes in LA. But because I go to LA, Miami every year, for different festivals,
Right.
they invite.
Do you still have your dance troops?
Yeah, I have a Latin ballroom team.
Because
So they're.
I remember when you used to host auditions for it.
That's funny. Dude, I used to be a lot more like not personable. I was
No. But you
I
know what?
found
We got
one,
each
but
other because we were dancers. We were committed to the dance. So,
yeah, just a lot of people were like, "Man, you're just so tough." I said, "Well, you want to be good? You coming in here like this, like you only get 2, 3 minutes to do a show. You can't half-ass it. Like, come on, man. Like
right.
that's a question."
You
So
know,
yeah, we still have a team, and we do. We're one of the only Latin ballroom teams probably in Texas. So
okay.
they learn tango, they learn swing, they learn cha-cha-cha, salsa, Afro-Cuban. So I want them to be well-rounded dancers. I don't want them to ever go to a place and be like, man, I'm here at a jazz club and I don't know how to dance some East Coast swing or West Coast, or these core dances. Or I don't want them to go to a milonga, tango milonga, and be like, oh, I don't know how to do that. So because when we do shows, we do fusions.
Right.
We'll, we'll sometimes start with like a piece of tango, and we'll go into some bachata or salsa. But that's kind of the whole LA Hollywood vibe. We
Right.
do shows. They
Right.
might not be the most advanced dancers. Some of them are with me a year, two, three. Some have been with me longer, 6 years. But they're committed, and you see, like I tell them, you have little victories. You know,
right.
you gotta have little victories and just enjoy the ride. If you want to, not everybody's gonna be great, but people can be good. You
So,
know.
so if someone wanted to jump into the Latin arena and start taking classes from you, which classes would you say is easier to learn? And then also talk about all of the other versions of Latin. I'm gonna mention something that no one's gonna expect, but which one's the
Right.
easiest to learn to pick up?
The easiest Latin dance is merengue. It's a
Merengue.
Dominican dance.
Okay.
Yes, it's just like marching.
Right.
So like that famous song Suavemente, that's merengue.
Okay.
So in my opinion, I would say it's merengue, cumbia, bachata, salsa, cha cha cha. Because cha 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 is a syncopated dance. You
Yep.
dancing on the
Yep.
on the upbeat. You know.
Okay.
Uh, when we come to tango we don't consider a Latin dance. It's its own
Right,
dance
because
because
it's
there's
ballroom.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
there's no Latin motion in it.
Right.
We don't have the Latin motion in the hips.
Hmm.
But you just learn to appreciate all the dances, and obviously these are Afro-Cuban based dances,
Right.
so they come from Africa. You
Right.
know, a lot of them do. So, and then
Well,
you have the Spaniard influence, even the influence from the Orient, and some of the guitars and all that stuff.
right.
So when you look at the history, it's really cool. They're all connected. All the dances are. It's all connected
It's
somehow.
all intertwined. One thing that no one I think would know about you that I know because I've known you for so long, you're an equally amazing country dancer as well.
Oh yeah, I do. I could do some two step. I could do line dance. I mean,
Two
we have to learn all this stuff.
two step, three step.
Whatever. I could do polka. I mean, I have to. People call me, "Hey, you teach polka?" Yeah, sure. I did it years back. I did it for a while. Because when you do ballroom training, they take you through all the core dances.
Right.
You learn the guys part, and then it's up to you if you want to learn the girls part. But you should learn. I learned the girls part
Yeah.
because then
Me
you
too.
really understand the dances, right?
Yeah.
You, you understand the mechanics
And
of how
understand where
every.
she needs to be and where you need to be from a
Yes, sir.
position perspective.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's right.
So tell me about Puss in Boots.
Oh wow, Puss in Boots. That was, man, that was fun. Like that was one of the times that I met like big time celebrities. So it was Salma Hayek and Antonio Banderas.
Hmm.
They were the voices in that movie, but I met them. So we did the red carpet. We were the dancers that were picked. Um, and it was a great experience. They played, I forgot what song. I think it was that Pitbull song. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was Fuego or
Right.
something like that. And we learned a little choreography, and we briefly met them, as we interacted with them as they were walking by. But they were so nice, they weren't like conceited. They
Hmm.
started dancing, but that was a lot of fun. I mean,
How long did it take you to film that as far as your
well, we
piece of
didn't,
that?
yeah, we didn't feel it. We got booked by an agency.
Okay.
It was a talent agency that, believe that it had hired me, and then I hired the rest of the dancers,
Okay.
from what I remember.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I was like 12 years ago, I think, 13, something
No. And the archives.
like
Well,
no, that's been a minute.
you were also on Good Morning Texas, I remember. Tell me how that came about.
Oh yeah, so I've been on Good Morning Texas and the Spanish morning show a few times, promoting. Well, one time I was on. It was kind of cool. They hired me for the Latin division of the Swing Out Championships or something like that. And
Hmm.
I was on TV with Norma Miller, the Queen of Swing, and they had me come in and do like a little Latin segment where I was dancing a little bit. We also promoted the Salsa Congress one year, just a lot of different times. We did like a Dancing with the Stars for the SPCA one year. We promoted a charity, Children's Cancer Fund. This was for Spanish TV for Univision.
Okay.
But yeah, that those are cool when you get invited to the
So where
local.
can people find you teaching in Dallas? We're going to get into some of your flyers and get into this video in a little bit, but where can people find you in Dallas if they want to come and learn?
Well, I mean, the best thing is to go to the website, the David Herrera-ENT.com, and that's like the hub. It has
Okay.
everything. But the two main studios, I've been at Yuka Dance in Addison for 6, 7 years. That's my North Dallas location.
Okay.
And there's a barber studio in Hearst that I've been at I've been there for like 16 years.
Okay.
That's for my Fort Worth people.
Gotcha.
Like, yeah.
Well, let's get into this video that you sent.
All right.
Be able to talk through that after it plays.
Let's see what we got.
Do you want to win $200? Calling out all the salseros and bachateros. Crazy Conchas, 87 Rainy Street, the only place to be in Austin, Texas. Every Wednesday night at Crazy Conchas, it's Sabor Wednesdays. Come on out. hosted by David Herrera himself. He'll be teaching free salsa and bachata lessons. Every week we have a new special guest DJ and dance instructor, as well as drink specials. And today's drink special is going to be the Coco Loca. Get your dance partner ready and your dance shoes and come out and win $200 tonight at Crazy Conchas. We'll see you there.
So that's where you are tonight. You make me want to get on the road after the show and head to Austin. I might be able to make it by the time you wrap up.
It's a cool spot, man. The vibe, just the venue. Shout out to Lydio, the owner. They're the ones that bring me out. Texas Guru Entertainment is the company that hires me. They got a great team. I'm part of that team. They bring me out here, and we've been having some great nights. Wednesdays, we've had a couple hundred people.
How many?
On Wednesdays, we've had up to almost 200.
Oh, man. That's like a Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturdays, we've had both floors full already. And it's fairly new still. But it's the vibe. You got to create the vibe. People, the Latin music, everybody likes Latin music.
Right. And it's so sexy.
And who doesn't like salsa?
Right. Yeah. Well, we're going to get into these flyers that you have. Talk a little bit about them, if you will, as we put them up. So I love this. This is hot.
That's my new logo. That's a shout out to the old partner, Andrea.
I remember her.
She's in Ohio. So yeah, that's my new logo. That's one of my new promos that I've had the last couple. It's kind of just encompasses like kind of everything I can do. Because I also do self-defense. I teach self-defense, and then I get hired to go speak at schools, for kids and stuff like that.
So you're teaching dance. You're teaching them how to defend themselves from the guys in the dance. You're teaching them how to be motivational, to have high self-esteem and great energy. So I've always called you a 5-tool player because you can dance, you can choreograph, you manage, you orchestrate, you perform, you do all of the things that A+ dancers do. But now that you're adding self-defense, tell me about this self-defense. What is entailed in that self-defense classes that I might need to brush up on?
I got into that probably like about 15 years ago. I always loved martial arts. Grew up with my brothers watching Bruce Lee movies, Shaolin, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we would always mess around. I got 2 older brothers, my brother George and Carlos, and my sister. She's older, but we would always watch that stuff growing up in Southern California. So I always wanted to do it. Thank God I've been able to accomplish a lot of my goals. So I had a friend of mine, Nico, may he rest in peace, but he died a few years ago, and he was my friend, and he would always come to my events. His cousin was one of the band leaders, Nelson, in town, and he says, "Hey, why don't we exchange, dancing for?" And Nico was awesome, he's like, he qualified for the Olympics or whatever. So I started doing jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing. He would bring in some of the best coaches. Now I train a little bit with one of my friends. His name's Will Florentino, and I started training a little bit. But I do a lot of self-defense. I just teach people like general basic boxing. How to defend it. How to de-escalate if somebody takes you to the floor. Some basic jiu-jitsu. Kickboxing. Some people do it for workout, but it's good to know. People are kind of crazy nowadays. So it's good to know how to defend yourself. I mean, because you can actually do more damage to yourself not knowing.
Right.
And there's been times people have tried to rob me in the past. And if I didn't know anything, I wouldn't probably be here right now. So, thank God. But that's just it's a hobby, and I still train. I love it. It's like dancing. I used to train fighters too. I used to teach them footwork because it helps the fighters out because of dancing. Bruce Lee was like he was a cha-cha-cha champion.
He was. A lot of
Oh
people don't
yeah,
know that.
a lot of people
Dancing
don't know.
connects to a whole lot of other things of athleticism that a lot of people don't realize. Hand coordination, coordination of body movement, all of those things that we hone in on as dancers help us through all the other type of things that we get involved in life.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow, self-defense. I like that. So Casa Cerrado,
Yeah.
tell me about that a little bit more. You mentioned it a little bit.
So it's basically a reality show that is for like it airs on Spanish TV. It still airs, and they have different cases that come in. It could be somebody's getting sued for whatever.
Okay.
But my episode was just because I guess I'll say it wasn't a real partner. It was an actress that got hired to be my ex dance partner that I dumped for the new dance partner, and they showed clips of me winning a competition, so she wanted some of the money, and she lost, and they had me battle her on national TV, and like obviously I tore her up to pieces
Right.
because she was not. I told her, dude, you sure you want to do this? Because like you're a beginner. Like you're pretty. They hired this girl. I was like, come on, what are you doing? So that's always gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you
But
had to slay.
I've done other reality shows too. I mean, I did like Big Rich Texas. I did some other stuff too. Big Rich Texas was fun.
So when you're going to teach, you're in Dallas, you're in Miami, you're in LA, you're in Austin. Are there any other places?
I was actually doing Shreveport, Louisiana last
Okay.
year for a few months. I went to go build the Latin dancing back. They had lost it. So I went and I would do a monthly social there um, at a restaurant called Sabores. Shreveport has a cool city because they have casinos. They film a lot of movies there. And if you don't know, 50 Cent, he just like built like some new studios there or something.
Yeah, he bought up
It's
the
a great
place.
market. Yeah, so they looks like I'll eventually probably go back. They reached out to me, but for me, if it's not worth it, I'm not gonna do it because it's a lot of work. Doing events, you do events yourself, so people
Yeah,
are always calling, and
it's a lot.
unfortunately, I tell a lot of them no
Yeah,
because
you and me
it's not
both.
worth it.
Uh,
You're bringing all this money, all this business, and you can't come to me with peanuts.
right. So we have a few more flyers. Let's get into these flyers. Let's have you tell us about these flyers. So Friday nights, tell us about that. That looks like
Yeah,
a
that's
small
fun.
class for you.
Yeah, it's a popular class I've been doing the last few years. So it's 7:30 to 9 in Addison at Yucca Dance. And the thing with this class is obviously we get a good group, but we go out and eat and dance after. So always it's a big social thing. Sometimes we'll have 40, 50 people.
Yeah. So
And,
how much is
and
it
we
for class, David?
well normally it's
Or do you
25.
do it's
Yeah.
what?
Normally it's 25 for the hour and a half class.
Okay.
But for in the summer, every year I do specials. So the class actually is discounted right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's temporarily, and because classes get real big in the summer.
Right.
But yeah, there's this class and then the Sunday class.
So in that class, are you doing levels or
Yeah,
like beginner, intermediate, and advanced at the same time and breaking them up in quadrants? Or are
so
you
I
doing
used to
those on different
do.
hours?
Yeah, I used to. So the class is a social level class. It's beginner friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do is I do the basics as a warm up. So the
Okay.
first half of the class is salsa. Second half of the class is bachata, which is easier. It's an
Okay.
easier. But I do the same basics as a warm up, and then I do social level material for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Some partner work, some footwork. But I used to do the tiers. I don't do it no more. I just feel like if you really want to learn, you need to take private lessons. I mean,
Right. That part.
to
Yeah.
me, group classes is only part of the learning curve. You got private lesson, group class. You need to practice on your own, and you need to go out and dance. And if you do those four things, and you start with the 1 month goal, you're gonna get some good results.
Right.
If you're a hopper and you're hopping around from dance school to dance school, and I see you once a month, and then you start telling people, "Oh, he's my teacher." I'm like, "No, you're not." I tell people out. I said, "I'm not your teacher." Because people are, how people are now, man. They're just flaky, bro. They
Yeah,
work.
they want to
You gotta
attach
call people
themselves to
out.
some they want to attach themselves to somebody that's reputable,
Exactly.
but they go somewhere else and do all the other foolishness.
Hmm.
I think we have another flyer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy conchas, and that's the general flyer for Wednesdays and Saturdays.
So they bring you down there on Wednesdays, and then you go back there on Saturdays, and then you have this Sunday one. Tell us about this Sunday one.
So Sunday is basically my same social level class, so people have an opportunity to go over the same material that we do on Fridays. So it's the same style like the Friday class.
And do
And this is
you?
a class I've been doing for like almost 20 years.
Yeah, I
The Sunday class.
remember. I remember you used to have packages.
Oh yeah.
So is that where the 30% comes off on maybe a particular package for a certain length of time?
Yeah, so like if they buy 4 classes, right now it's like $45 for
Okay.
4 classes for either Friday or Sunday, But I have other packages that I do, for private lessons. Some of them, if they buy a certain amount of private
Right.
lessons, they get free group classes or free entry to events and stuff like that.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Well, I have a few events coming up,
Cool.
and I want to talk to you about one of them offline. But one of the events I have coming up this Friday is my Juneteenth celebration. So I have one of my former guests, both of my former guests actually. I'm flying in a DJ Fly Diva from Chicago. And then I'm also Bubba Ye, Bubba Ye, at the studio. So they're going to be doing this. And so seats are going quickly for reserved seating. This
Nice.
Friday, don't come late. You're going to miss it.
Oh, your events are always packed, bro.
Yeah, all of them. So I
If
have the
they don't
studio the
know,
whole night.
you need like swing out. This is the guy right here. You need to go. Yeah, he's always classy. He got good following. You do it right, bro.
Appreciate the love. You and I have always had the biggest classes
Yes, sir.
because I guess the work ethic and the approach in which we take. I also have this graduation coming up. This graduation is an after 5 event. It's an elegant event. We have multiple performances that have already committed. It's going to be some ballroom. It's going to be a lot of different dance styles. It's going to be open floor all night long. We're going to have delicious food. Tickets are going fast. I encourage you. We're almost sold out. So if you see someone or ask a graduate, most graduates have sold out of their tables. You can Zelle me or call me or inbox me for ticket situations and tables. Very limited at this point. People said, it's in August. Yeah, it's in August. That's why it's selling out now. Because come August, there won't be any people coming at the door. And it's funny, every time you and I have events that are sold out, people want to come at the door because they heard about it because other people there and they can't get in. Well, Don't be that one that can't get in because we're selling out, and it will be sold out. So those are the things that we have going on. So we have how people can get a hold of you underneath your name, David. Anything else that you want to share so people can find you, take lessons from you, or just be part of your traveling crew, because you have a traveling crew as well?
Yeah, well, Sundays I have my event that was very successful. It's coming back. I did it for a year at Longhorn Ice House. It was probably one of the biggest events that we've ever had, especially for a Sunday. So that's in Dallas near Las Colinas. It's called Fuego Sundays. That starts back up next Sunday, the 22nd. So a lot of people asked for this place to come back. The owner reached out to me. Shout out to Nick. And he used to own like Stratus, which has been there for years. But yeah, so that starts back up, and then that we're supposed to go to Argentina in August. There's a South American Championships Pro-Am. So there's a few students that are interested in going to that. Um, then I got invited to, there's another festival in Mexico in August. There's a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Good. Well, August is the time where all of that stuff starts happening, competitions and things of that nature. During my football season, to where I can't really travel, but I will make sure that I make a point to get to your class because I do need to dust off a little bit and get under your tutelage again. It's been a while since someone's worked me hard, so looking forward to it. David, I really appreciate you. I'm praying for you and your family.
Yes, I appreciate that.
You're a guy that I always look for. I'm looking forward to reconnecting. Me and you've always had an amazing relationship, and I'm glad we still have one. Thank you for coming on this week. I know you're busy. I'm not going to keep you. You have somewhere else to go. So
it's good. It worked out, bro.
Yeah, man. We got it done, and so I much success, continued
Thank you.
success, because you put in the work ethic and you reap the benefits of it. And you have great people around you. So, my friend, we will chat soon. I know you're going to kill it tonight. So I look forward to catching up with you soon.
All right, brother.
All right, brother.
Sir.
Thanks for coming. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Tomorrow night, we have Swing Out class from 7 to 9 p.m. After that, one of our assistant instructors, Valerie Freeman, will be doing the line dancing instruction class. So come on out. It's a real enjoyable family environment. We enjoy loving on one another. Also, we have an event coming up June for CASA Parade of Playhouses. Stay tuned for that. Please go to groovetheorydallas.com where you can find out what we're doing. Sign up for the newsletter. A newsletter will be coming out in the next week or so. But really look forward to seeing everyone this Friday at our Juneteenth celebration. 2 parties under one roof, $20 pre-sale, $25 at the door after 10:30. It's BYOB. Come hang out. All dance styles are welcome. Come spend the weekend with us. And we look forward to seeing you. So until we see you next time, stay blessed, be good to someone, and show someone favor and grace. God bless.